Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 4 Premium Imperial Russian Navy Battleship, Imperator Nikolai P. She has 12 main guns, 20 secondary guns, 6 AA guns, a top speed of 21 knots, total hull 44,800. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, reduce the chance of flood and fire. For my commander, situation awareness, faster turret traverse, superintendent, and manual AA. We are on the map New Dawn, and I've been grinding up my Soviet cruiser commander. That's kind of why this battleship, the Nikolai, has a odd build. You wouldn't want manual AA. It's pretty irrelevant on this particular ship. We're just trying to get as many points as we possibly can before the Soviet cruiser line comes out. I want concealment. I feel like that is going to be the weakness of the Soviet cruiser line. We have to counter it, and the best counter is to get a captain that's that high. It's not easy, but it is possible. Now, we engage the enemy Phoenix, I believe, that is at B. We don't do anything really. The only thing we do is we lower the cap rate ever so slightly. And look at my friendly Phoenix. The dude is insane. He went straight to B, and he's fighting at least 3 enemy ships plus the aircraft carriers on the North American realm. There are a ton of aircraft carriers at Tier 4. For those who don't know, the North American realm is not participating in Arpeggio of Blue Steel right now. Instead, we have a chance to earn the Saipan, which is a Tier 6 premium US aircraft carrier. It was actually in the game. I have videos of the Saipan. They took it out, they put the Independence in its place, I believe. But yeah, it exists. It's going to be on sale at some point, and people are trying to earn the top base XP in a Tier 4 aircraft carrier to qualify to win it as a first prize. I believe only one person's getting it. So there's going to be a lot of people playing it this weekend. If you're at Tier 4 on the North American realm, you should expect aircraft in every single match. We did a little bit of damage to the enemy destroyer with AP loaded. Not the target I would like to focus on. I want to focus on this enemy Phoenix, who is coming towards me. He has great angling, but the Phoenix is notorious with how bad its armor is. We earn around 3,600 points of damage with only 2 shells. The front 3 turrets are still rotating into position. The turrets and the reload are very, very slow on the ship, but it's warranted when you can basically one-shot any ship you're running into at this tier. Now, it looked like the Phoenix was firing AP. You noticed it bounced off our hull, and he is just tired of dealing with us. We also have an aircraft carrier right next to us, by the way, so we have to take this guy out. We use one turret for ranging, and he sort of softens his angle in response. Well, guess what? We are able to obliterate him. We earned 2 citadels, devastating strike, and we of course destroyed the Phoenix before he could be a threat to my ship with his torpedoes or the friendly aircraft carrier. Now, this is a very, very slow battleship. This is US battleship speed. However, its turret system is way better than the US battleship line. There is very little limitation of angling. A lot of the early US battleships have a gun turret that just can't fire at any angle other than perfectly broadside. You don't have that. The 3 front turrets are forward facing, so they rotate if you go left or right towards the target, and you only have 1 gun that has to rotate back if you swap your positioning. So you have effectively 75% of your damage facing forward, and we do 9k to the stationary Phoenix. You don't want to be a stationary. Anytime you're spotted in stationary, you can expect to take damage. Even though his angling was really good, he's near our max range. We are in the plunging fire scenario, so it doesn't really matter his angling. As long as we hit the ship, we should be able to do significant damage. He's sailing broadside. This is a huge mistake. All guns ready to go, and we fire. And we're going to follow it in. How successful can we be on this target? Pretty successful. We take him out just like his friendly. You would think, my friendly just died in this same exact manner. Maybe I shouldn't show my side. You can still see the devastating strike awarded in the chat. So yeah, he made a critical mistake, and we were able to punish that mistake. Enemy destroyer is moving forward. He's trying to kill the friendly aircraft carrier. I would love to keep him alive. We have to wait on the cooldown. It's a really long reload, but it's worth it. We're fully armed and ready to go. We only fire one. And then, of course, I fire all of it, thinking that the torpedoes might miss. Of course, they don't. And it's taken out. It's good that the aircraft carrier could protect himself. It's just unfortunate that I'm a total noob. And I should have just held my fire and waited to see if the torpedoes were successful. We have to wait again on a gun cooldown. I could use it on the Carl, because we all love killing the Carl. All I want to do is allow the player to get out of the ship so he can play a ship that he's going to enjoy. Because he's not going to enjoy the Carl. The Carl is a really bad ship. Really bad. And, of course, he disappears. Looks like any enemy drops smoke. The enemy aircraft carrier is going to drop on our position, and we're going to do everything we can to avoid it. And it looks like we have a chance. We're also on fire, of course. I would love to not take extra damage. Alright, we're able to avoid those torpedoes. This old girl, she's got it where it counts. Yeah, she's big and slow, but she has beautiful guns, and she can be nimble when she wants to be. Now the enemy Carl shows his side. Don't get these guys. Why are you making this mistake? We got a Citadel. 9k damage, and I was hoping I would have done more. Only 2 rounds of all 9 of the front guns made contact with the ship, and we almost killed him outright. If I would have just had a little bit more luck with the dispersion. But as we're moving forward, 75% of our guns are facing forward and ready to go. We don't have to deal with any of that terrible turning that most battleships at this tier have to deal with. And he's gonna open up again. What is the deal, guys? Why would you do this? So we fire again, of course. We have it elevated because he's moving away, and we're hoping for a good damage. 4,300. 5 shells made contact. We're gonna try the back gun. Come on, back gun. We only need a little bit of damage. And he's turning back. You gotta be really angled. You have to learn angling, and it disperses. It straddles the target. Aim is good. Dispersion was not in our favor. We're probably gonna land with the 3 front guns almost ready to fire. Friendly gets a little bit of damage, but he doesn't kill him outright. So we fire everything. And it looks good. It feels good. We take out the Carl, and now he gets to go play a ship that he's gonna enjoy. That's the real truth. We are just providing a service to every single Carl player. Now, there are an enemy battleship and an enemy destroyer over by A. It would be nice if we could take this. I have aircraft coming behind me, trying to get in position to drop their torpedoes and bombs. And I'm trying to set up to attack the Wyoming. And he attacks first. Looked like a lot of the shells hit the superstructure. Didn't actually hit the waterline. We were lucky. That was a bad, aggressive play. You don't turn in front of a battleship that's ready to fire like that. However, he's going to make the exact same mistake. We're going to try our best to not take too many torpedoes while this is all going on. I'm holding my damage control to confirm that the torpedoes will make contact. Oh, one at the nose. Since it made contact, and we did 17,000 points of damage, by the way. I totally, glossed over that. In the game, I was like, how did he lose so much health? I completely forgot that I fired. But we didn't get a Citadel. We did significant damage, just didn't get the Citadel. Now, the friendly took out the Clemson, and that's really good because he was in a position where he could send torpedoes and wreck my ship, but he didn't. He didn't wreck my ship. And I'm so glad I didn't have to get my ship wrecked before going into position to fire on the Wyoming. So we are about to round this island. All guns are ready to fire on this guy. He does have a little bit of angling. Probably not going to be as effective as I would like, especially because he's going to react to that torpedo bomber. He sees it, so he's going to turn his ship as much as he can, but that doesn't mean we can't do significant damage to his ship. We're going to elevate the gun. He's moving away ever so slightly, and we're going to follow these shells in, see how successful. We do 12,000 points of damage, and we set him up beautifully for the aircraft carrier to follow up and take him out. We didn't get the kill, but it feels good to see a target take so much damage from your ship alone. It was around 30,000 points of damage between the 17 and the 12, give or take-ish. And now there's just the 2 aircraft carriers on this side of the map with a battleship all the way in the southeast side of the map. I love this ship. I just can't get enough of it. It's so fun to play. It really is. Is it ridiculous? Of course it is. It has 12 guns with a reload of 35 seconds with very little AA. But man, does it do a lot of damage. Now, this Langley probably doesn't realize that he's wide open, not moving. 20,000 points of damage. We earned Confederate and high caliber on that shot alone. Now, to be fair, it's not like the Langley can run away. He's in the slowest ship in the game. There are ships that go in reverse faster than the Langley. So, he's dead. He knows he's dead. But, can we get the kill? That's really what I would love to do. We only have about 90 points to go. Whatever dies next will end the game. We fire again. Only 7k? We're not going to be enough. It looks like the friendly's going to dive bomb him. And maybe he'll kill him, maybe he won't. I'm hoping. You know what? No, we're not hoping. We want our teammate to be as successful as they possibly can. We are here in support of our teammates. And dang it, he gets a fire. He's going to get the kill. I'll take this game either way. I really enjoy this ship, especially when cruisers are going to willingly show their side to you. 3 kills, 2 devastating strike, high caliber Confederate, almost 400,000 credits earned, with a base XP of 1,852. Solid carry in the Nikolai. We did around 115,000 points of damage in a 13-minute game. So, very happy about the results. However, this is Anchors Aweigh. There's another video, and it is a Russian ship. We are in the Tier 9 Soviet destroyer Udaloi. It has 6 main guns, 15 torpedoes, 28 AA guns, a surface detection of 7.2 kilometers, top speed 40 knots, total health 18,800. For my modules, reduce the crit chance on main battery, increase the accuracy, rate of fire, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rate of shift, concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, basic firing training, last stand, superintendent, advanced firing training, and concealment. We are on the map Trap, and I don't know why I have so many good games on Trap. I think part of that is my objective focus whenever I'm playing in any game, especially in a Soviet destroyer. They are very fast. As you can see, 43 knots with the boost. So I'm trying to get to sea first. If I'm in at sea first, I can set up to send my torpedoes, take out the enemy destroyer that is inevitably going to go there too. There are 4 on the enemy team. And when there are more destroyers than there are points, it's pretty much required that 1 goes to each to give your team the best chance to win the game. So that's exactly what we're doing. Now it looks like we have a cruiser or 2 plus a battleship that are also interested in this side of the map. Pretty evenly split. So this could go one of 2 ways. We could be overwhelmed by the enemy, or we could completely dominate the enemy. Now an enemy cruiser is sighted. He's rocking the rank 1 camouflage, so he's either earned rank 1 or he still has stock from the Project R. Enemy Fubuki shows up. Oh man, we're going to fire and we're going to leave the area as fast as possible. Now, we don't do as much as a US destroyer, but we do pretty good damage. 2,600 first salvo, 1k second salvo. We did module damage as well. Probably forced out damage control, so he is susceptible. Of course, what happens to our ship? First or second salvo that make contact, we completely destroy one of his turrets, by the way. Takes out our steering. But because we have last stand, we're doing just fine. Now, I did sacrifice expert marksman for last stand, but honestly, the Soviet destroyers at high tier have great turret traverse. They just lack that resilience that you can't buy on those turrets. Now the enemy destroyer, he drops off. He's not interested. I'm not really interested. Whenever I see 2 cruisers and a battleship also backing him up. Now, a lot of my friendlies are going after that run, and we are trying our best to get in position to support. Remember, we have smoke pods, great range, and fantastic AP. The guy is perfectly broadside. We can't possibly ignore this, so I'm trying to get in position where I am on the point, putting pressure on the enemy to react, and I can fire on these enemies. Now, we have multiple enemy ships. Fubuki is visible. Why is he visible? Okay, he drops off. There's no reason that he would have been visible other than he fired, but he didn't pop smoke. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we're coming to a complete stop, and then we pop our smoke. Now we are firing on the enemy. Again, perfect broadside, perfect for AP, and that's really where you need to hit. Oh, look at this. HE hits, does no damage. AP hits, does a little bit of more damage, but very bad damage. Come on, there we go. 2600, that's what I like to see. And of course, he drops off. He refuses to fire, but the Zhao is right in front of us. Perfect broadside. You can't make this up. You don't do this when there's a threat of a Soviet destroyer in the vicinity. Soviet anything, honestly, is going to just have this long-range AP flavor. You have to be disciplined. I am not disciplined. I am very afraid of just how effective AP might be with the Soviet cruisers. Now, we tried to see if we could send against the Tirpitz. The Tirpitz is coming closer, and AP will work just as well on the enemy Tirpitz. We've got about 15 seconds of smoke left, and just look at it. 25 per salvo. That was bad. But this one's gonna be good, right? No? Come on. Let's get him. 1400. Okay, we're getting back to where we would like to be. 600? Really? 600? He's trying to avoid the torpedoes, which he's successful. He might actually run into the island, and that would be very bad for him. And remember, there's an enemy destroyer out there, so we gotta be careful. He could send torpedoes, and I am detected because the smoke has dissipated. And I was worried that the enemy destroyer is close, so I ping it out. Hey, there is a threat. Real threat. And look at the Tirpitz. You silly battleship. You've run aground. You've pulled a Notser in front of my friendlies. Now the Hipper sends his torpedo against the Tirpitz. Because I have terrible angling, I have to fire HE at the Tirpitz, which does pretty good damage. And I think he actually might get away. He avoided the torpedoes, but he didn't avoid the main battery fire of that battleship, I believe. Now, we are detected, of course, because we just fired. And it looks like the enemy Rune is going to fire, but he misses. Maybe he assumed we were going to turn, but we didn't. We want to help capture C. There is nothing that is impeding our capture of C, so the enemy destroyer is not close by, which is a little frustrating. I would prefer to counter destroyers in my Soviet destroyer, especially a Japanese destroyer. Come on. But we have the chance to fire on this enemy. We've got AP loaded. I was hoping that he would remain soft. He's a little angled, but not too much. We can do pretty good damage, even considering this. He is moving away, so we have to elevate the gun a little bit more than you would normally. But we're getting around 1,000 points of damage on the Rune, and ricochet. Wow, that was close. All of his shells hit right in front of our ship. Probably splashed the crew. Everyone's wet, but at least we didn't take damage. He tries to fire again, and of course, he completely destroys one of our back guns. The only back gun. Now I'm sticking with AP. This is bad. We have to switch to HE, yes. As long as AP is loaded, the target has too good of an angle for the shells to do any damage, but we don't lead the target enough. Friendly gets the kill. We're taking fire from the enemy Kutuzov, and that's terrifying, so we're going to pop our smoke. And guess what? We were the ones detecting him. For whatever reason. Come on, come to a complete stop. Don't hurt me. He misses. Okay, good. Conveniently, since our back gun's completely destroyed, we can just point the ship directly at him. That's what I really like about this. Why would I even want to start with 3 turrets? Why not just start with 2? Now, come on, Kudzev, show your side. I was predicting that he would, and he does. So we have AP loaded at the right time. We set him on fire. He uses damage control. But he's showing a perfect broadside. Get a Citadel, come on. We're trying. We're really trying. We're doing pretty good damage when the shells make contact, but we're just not getting the Citadel. Are we going to get the kill, though? Yeah, there we go. We got the kill and a Citadel. Now, he could have dropped torpedoes. But there is also an enemy destroyer that was somewhere right in front of me. You see that smoke? We caught a glimpse of him. So there is a real threat to my friendlies that enemy Fubuki could possibly torpedo them. So we need to go back and counter. Now that enemy Zhao, he fires everything, does significant damage. We're going to send our torpedoes against him and drop off his detection. Now I do one cheeky shot. I'll get a little bit of damage before. Oh, absolutely nothing. He's actually countering it by using a heal. Our AA is going off. Now, one thing that they changed, I think they buffed Soviet destroyer range on their AA. My AA has an effective range of up to 6.2 kilometers. That is insane. Very few destroyers actually have that kind of range. And it looks like he's going to avoid our torpedoes, of course. But he can't avoid all the friendlies in the area. So, we've got what looks like an enemy cruiser at A, plus there's obviously another ship on A capturing it. We lose a couple friendlies in that area. And I think it's very important to support the push at A, maybe defeat the enemy gearing, who is barely alive. Hopefully the friendly, yeah, mutual destruction, that's pretty funny. So we still have that cruiser, of course. We don't know where the 2 destroyers are. The last sight of the Fubuki is somewhere north of our position right now, but he's definitely not there anymore. Where could he be? Are we going to run into him? We are one of the fastest ships in the game, so as a Soviet destroyer, you should look to exploit a weakness on an enemy's flank. You're one of the few ships in the game that can actually get across the map in a pretty fair amount of time. And that's very important. And there you are. Friendly's able to scout him out. It's a Fletcher and an Udaloi. Good luck, Fubuki. You're gonna need it. His propulsion's already knocked out. We are doing a little bit of damage. Friendly's doing a little bit of damage. We knock out propulsion again. And I think, yeah, we just got lucky with our gun cooldown. We were the last to hit the target. And this is how Soviet destroyers tend to play, I've found. You really can't work super close to US destroyers. You do have an advantage, of course, to Japanese destroyers, and I can't believe how low the Ibuki is, obviously. I was like, wow, you got so many targets. The gearing, the Ibuki, probably the other destroyer, if he exists over there, were detected. Where is the destroyer? He's somewhere. I'm telling my team, he's somewhere close. He's right in front of us. And he's low too. I would just love to know what happened to get all of these ships so low, but none of them died. Now, he knocks out one of our front guns. We repair, of course. We want to have the ability to kill him. Friendly gets the kill. Okay, whatever, that's cool. And now, it's just you, Ibuki. Against 5. He's got a chance at Solo Warrior. So you're telling me there's a chance. But he's probably not going to get it. Whoa, 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 spoiler! I'm watching this game, Notser. Yeah, it would be really cool if you got Solo Warrior. That would be worth sharing. But of course, we're going to do everything in our power to defeat him. So we're going to move forward. We have our smoke, and we only have 1 gun, by the way. I just love it. It seems like every little bit of damage is going to contribute to your turret being destroyed. Whether you are playing super passively or super aggressive, it really doesn't matter. I basically end every single game in my Soviet destroyers down 1 turret, down a 2nd turret, and even down a 3rd turret, way more than any other ship. Now, the Ibuki is showing a side, we're firing AP, we're getting great dispersion, but he's angling against it. We have to switch to HE, otherwise we're not going to do any damage. Not that we were doing any damage. We've only got one gun. This is ridiculous. And I'm like, screw it. Let's just go all in. Make him fire on our position. So we show ourselves. We're firing, trying to elevate the gun and lead his ship. But it's hitting the water. And, of course, he fires. We're able to avoid. Why fire at the guy with one turret? Does he really think we're a threat? No. He wants the kill. Just like you want the kill. Yeah? But look how pathetic this is. One gun? Oh, he fires everything. Oh, he's serious business here. Oh, was easy. Look at the weird artifacting of the water, by the way. I was just so distracted by this. I'm going to send my torpedoes against him. And we'll see if it has time. Nope, never mind. Friendly gets the kill. Take out the Ibuki. Game over. So we were okay, I guess, for a Soviet destroyer. We got 2 kills. Base captures. 1 citadel. 2,450 base XP. Top of the team, but not top on damage. That's for sure. We did around 60,000 points of damage. Not impressive, but we were there for our team, and that's what counts. I hope you enjoyed both games. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.